Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Afghan Khan and I am back with Champions League semi-final predictions. Now, before we move on, I predicted the outcome of every single Champions League quarter-final absolutely correctly. So let's see how the semi-finals go. Now, the first semi-final is between Real Madrid and Atletico. It will be played at Santiago Bernabeu, the first leg. And this is really important because Atletico Madrid, unfortunately, has been on the receiving end during their previous 3 European encounters. Atletico lost the 2014 European Cup final. Remember that famous goal in the last minute by Sergio Ramos in Lisbon. And then they met again in 2015 quarterfinals, and again it was a last gasp winner at Bernabeu in the second leg, which sealed the fate of Atletico. Ironically, they met again in 2015 Champions League final in Milan, Italy. And this time, the Lady Luck again favored Real Madrid. And it was Antoine Griezmann's missed penalty which ultimately sealed the fate of Atletico Madrid yet again. Now, since this first leg is in Bernabeu, so Atletico has the advantage of second leg at Vicente Calderon. And we also need to analyze that Real Madrid recently lost at Bernabeu against Barcelona, a famous goal by Lionel Messi. So that might have dented their motivation or morale. However, they just won 6-2 in their recent La Liga fixture, so I think they're back on track. Atletico, they also lost 1-0 at home against Villarreal this past week. So even their own form is rather ambiguous going into the semi-finals. I think there is a goal in for Atletico at Bernabeu, a crucial away goal. But Ronaldo, Benzema, Marcelo, with Gareth Bale is out, but they have Isco. Given the firepower they have, I just have a feeling that Real will edge the first leg 2-1. Moving on to the second semi-final. It's deja vu 1998. It's Monaco versus Juventus. Now, who can forget those incredible 2 games which these teams played back in the Champions League edition of 1998, when Alessandro Del Piero's hat-trick at Old Stadio del Alpi, Turin, sealed the fate. And there was a famous goal by Zinedine Zidane as well, Deschamps, Edgar Davids. That was a famous Juve team, and they literally trashed Monaco 4-1. And in the return leg in Monaco, Monaco did prevail 3-2, but that wasn't enough. That Monaco side had 2 famous forwards. One was David Trezeguet, who ended up playing for Juventus, and Thierry Henry, 18 or 19-year-old Thierry Henry. He also played for Juventus the following season, but then he moved to Arsenal. Now, this Monaco team is actually not that different. I mean, they do have excellent firepower with Radamel Falcao and upcoming Mbappe. However, they lack experience in big games. They recently lost against Paris Saint-Germain in Cup final, 4-1. And again, they have been beaten in League Cup final 5-0, but that was a weakened Monaco team. Whereas Juventus, they even Juventus, their own form has been a little bit questioned after their 2-all draw with Atlanta. However, their magnificent victory over Barcelona has actually certainly given them a momentum, and they have only conceded 2 goals in this year's Champions League edition. And with Gigi Buffon, Chiellini, who recently got his master's degree as well, Bonucci, these people at the back, and Dani Alves, I think it will be very difficult to break this Juve team, to break this defense especially. Then they have Mario Mandzukic, Cuadrado, Alessandro, and then they have firepower of arguably the best player in Europe right now with Dybala. And let's hope Higuain doesn't bottle in this semi-final. So, but I think there is a goal for Monaco in the first leg. They are playing at home. I think there will be a goal for them. However, I just think that Juve will edge 2-1 with 2 away goals. The return leg, I personally think that Juventus will play much more attacking game at home, the way they played against Barcelona. So I'm going to give them 1-0 victory at home and 3-1 aggregate winners in the semi-finals. Whereas the second semi-final between Atletico and Real, the second leg at Vicente Calderon, I think somehow it's going to be a 1-1 draw. So I will go with Real Madrid and Juventus as this year's European Cup finalists. Now, before moving on to our in-depth analysis, we need to analyze that Atletico Madrid actually finished higher than Bayern Munich in the Champions League group stage. So we can't actually rule them out. They're gritty, they are tough. In recent years, they have eliminated teams like Bayern Munich, Barcelona, certain German teams as well, Bayer Leverkusen. So somehow they have a bad track record against Real Madrid, and somehow nerves get on top of them. And they only conceded 2 goals in the group stage, so they are tough nuts to crack. They have a very solid defense. Maybe not as solid as Juventus defense, but still it's a pretty solid defense. Real Madrid on the other side, which some pundits think are favorites to win this year's Champions League, I don't think so. They will win this year's Champions League. I think it belongs to Juventus. However, they did not finish on top of their group. They finished second, below Dortmund. So everything is not green for them. Monaco actually did finish top of their group, ahead of Tottenham and Bayer Leverkusen, and you can see they were pretty convincing. And Juventus were pretty convincing as well. They finished ahead of Sevilla, Lyon, and now let's analyze their domestic league positions. Juventus, they just drew a game against Atlanta 2-2. Otherwise, they would have won a Serie A yesterday evening. Juventus is pretty much in the pole position to win this year's Scudetto as well. This will be their 6th straight Serie A title. Real Madrid, on the other hand, suffered an ignominious defeat at home against Barcelona, and they have to win pretty much all of their remaining 5 games to win La Liga, which I think they might do it because they do not have any tough fixture coming up. Monaco is, again, just like Real Madrid, they are neck and neck with Paris Saint-Germain, and actually they are marginally ahead because of the goal difference. And Atletico Madrid, they are 3rd in La Liga, so the only thing which they are playing for at this stage is the Champions League. I hope you enjoyed my in-depth analysis. I'll be back with my prediction for the finals. Thank you very much. You can follow me on Twitter, Sufgan's at Sufgan server. It is SUFGHANSARWAR. And you can follow me on Facebook as well, Sufgan Khan. It is again SUFGHAN space KHAN. And you can post your views, that whether you agree with me or not. Thank you very much, and enjoy this year's European Cup mouthwatering semi-finals. Thank you. La Forza Juve.